Alright, we are in for the first match of the war between the Bear Guild and the Royal Guild. Here we have Sir Shield in white and gold representing the Royals, and Loxus in black and red representing the Bears. And it looks like we have Knight from Loxus and Monk from Sir Shield, both of their mains, to my knowledge. We shall see how this goes. Sir Shield uses that finisher a lot. Oh, opening thing. Very intimidating slices off that Knight blade there. Straight in with the arrows. One right to the head. Loxus is just keeping a defense and seeing what he can take. But one more hit means he has to charge straight in. Managing to get quite a few hits in, but Sir Shield's unorthodox defense is fairly airtight actually. The issue with Knight's hanging guard is while it's good for defending against projectiles, it's not very good for if you want to then go and do your own attacks. Loxus has managed to keep HP advantage just by, instead of constantly spamming arrows when both players don't have regen in the first place, just attacking when he has enough energy, but he's been forced to use projectiles now. The playing field is even. However, he maintains a HP advantage. Sir Shield looking like he just wants to bite his time, but with the energy advantage, Loxus is gonna then just jump straight in. Very powerful blows. Tempting enough, and is that... I can't tell if that's just connection issues or if that's literally just bandage wrapping. Loxus going for the classic wave weapon around wildly kind of projectile defense. Great for when you want to keep your sword facing your opponent, but not very reliable. Could most likely charge up and try to push the game, but Sir Shield currently has enough energy to capitalize on a move like that. So instead he's just gonna wait. Conserving projectiles before going in to try to finish it off. Oh, and there's the final blow. Well played. I do believe Loxus held the Knight title belt for a while on the official Discord, so maybe it's no surprise that he's incredibly good with the class. And Monk versus Duelist this time. Straight in. No, that literally just looks like bandage wrapping to me. He's even hitting himself while doing it. I suppose that could be his issue, because that does not seem like a very effective offense. Trading projectile blows, forcing Loxus to just take what he has in terms of energy and just go straight in. Once again, Sir Shield's unorthodox defense actually proving surprisingly successful. It's not every day that you usually get a solid defense that everybody doesn't know about. trading blows, keeping each other's energies low, but Loxus still has an energy advantage as well as a fractional HP advantage. I think it all comes down to the fact that the duelist projectiles cost far less than the monks, and because they're both constantly trading blows with each other, they're going straight in once again. Cersei charging for going for an offense, doing some one-handed spins. Got him quite a few good hits. Roxas now charging for again to capitalize on this vulnerability. Shield's looking pretty desperate. The issue just simply comes down to the fact that Duelist works far better at lower energy regens because its projectile is just that much cheaper. Its trade-off is it does barely any damage. That doesn't matter when it starts off, when the damage usually is not a concern. Big hits landing though. And this match is drawing to a close, with Shield still trying his best to get as much damage as possible, but doesn't really appear to have any ways to vary up his attacks. He's got two moves, one of which is bandage wrapping, the other of which is essentially just one-handed horizontal bandage wrapping. And Loxus is just sitting there with full energy. And there we go. 2-0 defeat to Loxus. 2-0 victory to Loxus. Well played. Alright, and we are in for our second match in the war between the bears. Yes. Hello. We have Tosa-chan, technically in the soon-to-be disbanded Sunlight Warriors, allying with the Bears for this match versus Axel from the Royals. We have a Knight versus Reaper fight. Axel going for a very nice black and white look, taking on all of the new accessories. Tosa bringing out his old highlighter set. Toaster has since ranked up to Elite since this match was organised, so he will get less points in the case he does win. However, this means that the stakes are even higher for Axel, because if he can win, he gets even more points. But that's some brutal Knight tech right there. Going in for a classic projectile at the start, going back and forth with that scythe blade, all sorts of different angles, getting quite a lot of hits. It's not exactly even, still relatively close to even. Not enough use of the scythe blade out of Axel in my opinion. His shield is shredded and he's taking a lot of hits to the body. He probably needs to work on hitting it, but then again, it is usually just this matchup that shield classes can struggle with. Big hits there coming in at that side blade. Evening it up slightly, but Toaster still knocking around with greater energy. And knocks it straight back into his favour. It's a huge double headshot. And he's moving in for the kill. This could be it for the first round. And it is. Well played by both sides. They might be considering banning classes, but I'm not sure. I don't think so though. Plus it's having some interesting things happen with his remotes though. Ooh, a Monk mirror match. They're going in for those early arrows. The issue is, this attack right here ends up putting him at a general disadvantage just because of the sheer amount of energy cost that the arrows have. Both actually adopting for a two-handed style. This actually is a very interesting one-handed spinning defense, and is changing it up to go one-handed now, keeping it unpredictable to his opponent. Arguably Axel has a better strategy here if he can theoretically just not get hit by enough arrows. He can gain more energy than Toast, just because how it works. Let's look at this shield class once again. What's interesting, Toast's one-handed style is definitely quite powerful. Axel's gonna have to do some charging up if he wants to get anywhere with this. He's also doing a fair bit of bandage wrapping from what I can see. Axel's just playing too defensively, he can't. He's not charging up, he's just sitting there waiting, hoping to get enough energy regen. And then he just gets hit by an arrow because he doesn't have good enough defense against it. And then Toaster just charges straight back up and straight in. Very telegraphed. Yeah, honestly, it looked like Toaster isn't even holding it, so it could just be latency, or it could just be issue. Ooh. I say bandage wrapping, but I'll be honest, I just see spins and call it bandage wrapping. I need to stop that. Toaster's now out of energy charge though, and now just needs to try to get enough energy from blow still, but he just can't do it. Allowing Axel enough time to come back a little. Oh my god, that is horrible damage. Oh, that was a nasty arrow straight to the face. Axel might be able to hold on long enough to even this up. Ooh, there we go. There's the finishing from Toast. Well played. Much closer game because Toast just simply wasn't able to get any finishing blow in. But that's that. Alright, and we are live. Well, not live. I don't know why I said that. But we have Shadow Soul representing Royals with the Ninja versus Kronos representing the bears with a scythe. Should be an interesting matchup. Ooh, flashy poses. Shadow's not really getting into it. Kronos trying to get in some early range attacks. Just doing raw range attacks with Reaper usually doesn't matter. Ooh, just missing some shots. Ooh, but banging in some very tricky things. Even those spins usually aren't very effective. And here comes the counterattack in traditional ninja fashion. Managing to bypass the defense quite soundly. Bit of lag though, which is always not nice. Still possibly stepping a little too far forward though. Both players are getting into the music now. Hello. The thing about Reaper's range attacks is that they're tricksy, but if you just shoot them at the enemy, they aren't going to accomplish much. You've got to really mix up how you use them. But that was some big hits. And here comes Ninja straight back in. Ooh, forcing Shadow Soul, for Kronos actually, possibly too far back, getting in a lot of headshots for some large amounts of damage. Ooh. This is looking like it's going in Shadow Soul's favour. Given both matches so far have actually gone to the bears, this might be the Royals' first win. Once again, tricky Reaper, but not that much, and using an energy advantage and charging up to get an even bigger energy advantage, and now converting that into damage. Simply put, Ninja is just too rough. Ooh, range attack getting in, forcing a charge and offense. Oh, that's a controller gun. Sure. Multiple issues happening there. Could give Kronos an energy advantage he needs. Ooh, getting very close. Shadow Soul possibly too low to even charge up. Uh-oh. Trying to go in for the kill. But no, Shadow Soul's just gonna weight himself up to high energy and attempt to finish the job himself. And there it is, very close, very good game. But Shadow Soul appears to have given the Royals some hope. Round 2, Crusader v Reaper once again. Both of these classes are usually interesting because of their outward stickiness trying to keep boxes. Ooh, Kronos possibly a little too far forward. This is possibly the matchup where it's easiest to use your weapon. Usually both Crusader and Reaper struggle to use their weapon to block and need to use their shield or handlebars to block instead. However, in this matchup, given their similarity, it's the most easiest for them to do. Now it's staying rather... Hello. Yes, I do see you. Right now it's staying somewhat even. Oh, range attacks flying in both ways, but Kronos managing to dodge them just by being on the offensive. Shield has a lot of trouble sometimes blocking that side blade. Just can't reach far enough forward. Possible dodging on the other side, but possibly not enough. But then again, the damage output of that scythe is probably what will win it this time around. So to be fair, Shadow Soul did just even it straight back up. Now both bosses don't have hardly any shield issues in this match, it's just a case of being able to block more than being able to consistently defend with a shield. Ooh. Trying to go low usually does not help very much. It's usually about the distance to your opponent. This could be the edge Shadow Soul needs. Ooh, but looking very even right now. Kronos has more energy, but is managed to go for a very tricksy looking offense, carrying those range projectiles in. Oh, and evens the score. Oh no. Ah, same matchup. Oh. They appear to have been talking in voice chat about it or something, so, something. Sure. Probably a mishap of some sort. We'll see if they just rematch into a different pairing instead. Could be on the Discord, reaching out to each other. Oh, yep, he's back. They're definitely just talking or something. Right, they appear to be getting back in. Oh, apparently it was a speaker punch, not a specific controller issue. But alright. After that mishap, we are once again in a match. This time Monk v Crusader. Monk's reach helps against Crusader a lot. However, it also is relatively easy to flare block, and the shield can tank most of the hits relatively well. Yeah, the reach of that start coming in is quite useful. currently relatively even, but we'll see how long that shield lasts. Ooh, giving him a ranged hit, giving him a huge energy advantage that Kronos doesn't appear to be trying to do anything about. There we go. Possibly a little too late. Unless he starts harassing that shield, it might just survive the whole match. Ooh, lots of damage coming in. We gotta dodge that thing. Can't just duck and pray. Oh yes, I still see you. Fine. Hold on. Hold on, something like that. Is that it's just simply going in Shadow Soul's favour, just through energy advantage. Every time Kronos is able to even it up, he just goes straight back. Ooh, adding in a ranged hit once again. Kronos also having a tighter defense, just being able to out damage as well there. And this could very well be it. And it is. That's a lovely particle work there. And a victory for Shadow Soul, granting the Royals some much needed points. Well, GG's. Alright. And we are in black and gold. We have Lord Attila, one of the leaders of the Royal Guild, versus in red and black, Boy Gabe, a non-leader of the Bears, but still a mighty opponent nonetheless. We shall see how this goes. Duelist versus Samurai, both classes going straight for their mains. This could be Attila's chance to even the score, or at least... oh, actually no. They picked each other's mains from what I can see. Duelist is considered to be a hard counter to Samurai, so... see how this goes. Ooh, early hit, and Attila just follows up, going immediately on the aggressive. Essentially nullifies said hit, but Boy Gabe and resets the playing field. There's more hits. Attila not being able to land any ranged attacks. Ooh. Boy Gabe taking the advantage as expected. Just keeping on landing those hits, and Attila can't respond with his own ranged attacks. So instead he has to go in, and he's doing some kind of cheeky stabbing kind of techniques. Boy Gabe doing lots of volleys with two shots coming in from two different angles. Now, one hit was from the boundary, and it was enough to reset his energy. So Boy Gabe is now having to come in and is landing more hits. This looks like it might be a slow one. Ooh. Fortunately, the single shot out of Samurai usually doesn't do it. You have to chain together multiple and create a full volley. Couple of nasty hits, but once again also Lord Attila is focusing the legs, which take less damage. Whereas Boy Gabe has hit the majority, is hitting all over the place. Legs, head, body. Attila failing to refresh, but his shield was good enough. Although he just can't seem to land the hits, and his opponent can. And his opponent's winning the energy control game as well. Unfortunately, this looks like it's only going one way. I've never really seen Attila use the samurai before, so it could be indeed Rosa's downfall. As well as the fact that it's a hard counter. Could be talking and discussing the classes. But this is also still only match 1, so there's 2 more to go. Overall, the Bears are leading in terms of points, and Attila might be able to put it back, might be able to even it back into his skills' favour, but not this match, that's for sure. Doesn't really change his variety, he's just stabbing with his legs, or... I don't get it, is he trying to... Okay. Yeah, people surrendering. Yeah, that was incredibly simplistic samurai play as well, making it incredibly easy to defend, and very limited moves as well, so it was very predictable. And now Crusader v Duelist. Is Attila seriously just using the same technique he just did for Samurai? And that's it. Whatever happened to his flashy spins? Decent dodging and movement around that flail, making him relatively airtight, but there's a couple of hits. And he might be able to play the energy game today as well. Certainly keeping him suppressed, but a bit too much maybe, unable to regain any energy himself. Again, just primarily up and down, but at least he's landing top shots now. Oh, I don't think they're headshots, unfortunately. Very good use of manipulating the flail's mechanics. Can be very, physics. It can be very tricky to do. Attila also appears to be having some sort of headset issue. That was a big hit. Once again, it's just poking for the legs all game. And it's not working out. His defense is sound enough to keep the match even. Ooh. took some boundary damage for no gain, and let's reset his energy with or without that boundary. With or without that boundary damage, and giving his opponent an opportunity to regain even more. Yeah, once again, this is looking to be a very slow match. But it might be in Attila's favour this time. Is this all he really has for its duelers? Because I'm disappointed. See so many fancy, flashy, spinny kills. And then this is all he does in game? Just stabs the legs and occasionally the head? He's landing those ranged attacks, but he's doing them too often to gain any sort of energy advantage. It's higher regen, but as long as his opponent blocks most of them, he'll keep up with energy in terms of energy gain. Ooh, quite the volley. Boy Gabe's not been using many ranged attacks this fight. Mainly because Crusaders is weak. Ooh, 2 big hits, changing it up. Fractionally, this match is in Attila's favour though. Quite a frustrating, slow match. Once again, too many ranged attacks. And the issue with slow matches is you run out of things to mention when both players are doing the exact same thing over and over again. I like how Boy Gabe just starts swinging his flail more when getting up close, when projectiles are fired. Very interesting. Ooh, 2 big hits. Fractionally in Attila's favour though. Probably mainly because those ranged attacks deal damage as well. However, Attila has also been stepping out of his boundary a lot. Is he trying to angle the shots or something? Ooh. Finally Boy Gabe hits an projectile, but Attila slaps up straight back at him. Oh, that could be it to even the score. And that too. Boy Gabe could clutch this. Of course though, it could just be Attila's off his game. But I am definitely a little disappointed. Ooh, finally landing a headshot. He's kept his advantage, though it is marginal to say the least. And then we've got game 3 still to come. The easiest way to block the easiest way to be dodging Crusader is to adopt a rider foot position instead of trying to take multiple steps. Just lunge and lean forward. Ooh, if it wasn't for those headshots, Attila might be actually killing himself more than his opponent. But the match is looking like it's gonna end soon. Very close though. As much as I want to say that possibly a good idea would be to... Ooh, one came back. As much as I want to say that the best idea might be to charge up, Tiller appears to be staying quite quiet, and there's the finishing drive. Damn's also fancying it getting that boring, mate. That was quite the slog, but scores are even, and we move on to the final match. And Monk versus Duelist. Very interesting. Classic hurricane style out of it. Is he? Oh, that could be lag, though. Duelist projectile does less damage than the Monk, but they both got similar projectile speed. But the Duelist is just faster, cheaper. Well, no, not really faster, but faster to start using. Killer doesn't really have the defense. Tilting and spinning the stuff way too much. No figure 8 as well, I like so much. Unless I just have a bad perspective on it. Can't really tell, but that looks more like a vertical hurricane than figure 8. That could have been some figuration. Yeah, ranged attacks can be annoying to block as long just because of how thin the weapon is. Cheers! And Boy Gabe also once again showing how you really play Duelist. Swinging around, coming in from all angles, no desperately stabbing at the legs. It's becoming very predictable as well. Too much spinning. You hold it vertically and you move it over, tap, move it around, flick behind you to reload. You spin when you change angle when their angle of attack changes. When necessary, which is usually only against classes such as Reaper or Crusader. Against Duelists, not needed to spin. I'm definitely showing him this replay though, so he can see my opinions on his fighting style. I feel like I should comment more on what Boy Gabe's doing, but it's just simplicity and right. Ooh, until catching his opponent off guard to get some cheeky hits. Here we see just swings from all different directions, occasional stab thrown in as well, I believe. And there's the finishing blow. GG.